Start over.
I'm sorry. I
You're
have no
fine.
idea what happened.
Hi, Anne. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your week this week?
Good. I had a good week. I actually had a really pretty good week. I was feeling positive and kind of energized over something that had happened and I had a good week. How about yours?
Not bad at all.
Oh, good. Good.
Yes. I want to reassure you before we begin that this is a safe space, no judgment. You can trust me with your information and you're safe when you're here.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yep, perfect.
Okay. So since we spent the last two sessions getting to know each other, talking about what brought you here and you giving me in-depth detail about your life trauma that you've experienced. We completed the questionnaire last time. I'd like to introduce you to a technique today that may help when you're approach with difficult memories and emotions and physical reaction that might come up.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Before we dive in, what was something that made this week good for you, Anne?
So one of the things that happened that we had talked about, my feelings about like what I had witnessed as a kid and my mom and mine's reaction to it. Um, I felt, I think from us talking, almost a little empowered and courageous, I would say, not like crazy courageous, but talking to my brothers and my dad, although my dad has some dementia, he didn't totally get it, but my brothers did about, they always just think I'm lazy or, don't ever leave the house and I'm just, weird and I don't try. And then, I'd let them know that since our, mom had died, that I was going to therapy and some of the things I was working on. And I
Mm-hmm.
told them that one of the things that really bothered me, I mean, again, I never really got over my aunt just dropping dead in front of us and my mom screaming and screaming and screaming and the cops and everybody running. It was just horrible. Um, and it made me angry that they used to go back every summer after that. And my mom and I never
Mm-hmm.
did. And it still to this day, although I was less angry about it, telling them this week about it, it's almost like I was holding on to this anger for the past 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then telling them about it almost released that anger in me. And I just felt like it was time for them to know, just because of things we had talked about, that I can't just keep holding on to us. It's just hurting me. I mean, I
Right.
don't do anything with my life. So I feel like I just felt a little empowered to take those steps. And they actually were like, they weren't as like jerky as I thought they were going to be about it. They were actually like, we're sorry, we never knew that.
Right.
Uh, they're older brothers, with their own
Yeah.
families and stuff. So I think they were kind of like taken aback, but at the same time, they weren't like, oh, come on, get over it. They were like, we're sorry, we did not know. We never knew that it affected you that way and
Right.
exactly what you saw because we never talked about it. So it wasn't totally their fault. My mother never talked about it. Again, that day,
Mm-hmm.
she just, I just stayed by her side for the next 35 years
Right.
and, never did anything. So I guess that's kind of, I don't want to say it opened the door for like a new relationship with them, but it kind of, I would say, made them back down or be less judgy about how I'm living my life because I think they see that I've been dealing with this for so many years and they
Mhm.
haven't.
Right, right, right. And that's
So,
wonderful to hear. And like, for you to acknowledge that sometimes people's reaction is based off of us not opening up. And it was good that you were able to get a good reception from them also.
yeah.
And sometimes talking through these situations, sharing this trauma with someone, you still go through like feeling those emotions that you felt when you were going through the trauma, and we
Yeah.
need it's useful to use these techniques as the one that I will share with you today to cope
Okay.
through those. What if one day you share something with them or with someone else and they're not receptive? You know, you might feel like, oh my God, I should have just not share that with them,
Right.
right? But still share, but it's how you take care of yourself, you know, because at the same time you dropped a load off of you and it made your week even feeling better. So that's important also.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. For sure.
Yes. So, this approach is a grounding technique. It's based off of a cognitive behavioral therapy. Grounding can help you reconnect with your present self when you feel overwhelmed or when your thoughts begin taking you back to something difficult that happened in your past. Before we try it, I want to emphasize that you are in control of this session. You don't have to talk about anything you're not ready to discuss, and we can stop at any point. Does that
Okay.
feel okay to try
Yeah.
together?
Yep. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I want to start by you taking some breaths, just to relax. Not forcing you to relax, but just be in the moment and notice every breath that you're taking.
Okay. Okay.
So we're gonna inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale. Another time, inhale, exhale. Okay. Now I'd like you to look around the room that you're in and identify five things that you could see.
A plant, a picture, my computer, my curtains, and my book.
Right. You're gonna just think about those things that you just noticed. All right. So now I want you to identify four things that you can feel.
Um, I feel the fan blowing over here, air. Um, I feel my desktop. I feel my sweater keeping me warm.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel my feet on the cold floor.
Okay, nice. Now I want you to identify three things you can hear at the moment.
I can hear my dog scratching on the door to come
Mm-hmm.
in. Um, I can hear us talking, and I
Mm-hmm.
can hear the air conditioner humming.
Okay. Then identify two things you can smell.
I can smell somebody just made microwave popcorn,
Mm-hmm.
and I can smell the flowers in my room.
Okay. Finally, I want you to identify one thing you can taste or think of a taste you enjoy.
Okay. I can almost taste the microwave popcorn in my mouth.
Um, as you're doing this, I want you to, this is an activity that I want you to bring with you forward. And while you're doing this, I want you to always think, I'm here in this present moment. And I want you to take your time when you're identifying these things. And
Okay.
I want you to feel safe, right, in that moment and just relax.
Okay.
I don't want you
Okay.
to force that feeling. I just want you to be in that moment.
Okay.
So, in that exercise, what did you think? What did you notice while you were doing the exercise?
I noticed that I wasn't as I was kind of feeling rushed because I came right from work and I had to like quickly like change and sit down and get ready to meet with you. So I was kind of feeling rushed, but then after the breathing, I definitely felt like even just my body relax for a moment. And
Mm-hmm.
then, noticing the other things really made me focus to where I am right now with here with you. So
Mm-hmm.
I could feel that.
And that's wonderful. I like that explanation, you know. Felt like I was helping you
Yes,
work
no,
through
it was
that
great.
those
That's a
feelings.
great exercise. I think, I mean, I'll definitely use that when I'm feeling that way moving
Right.
forward.
How do you feel now versus say last week, if you could remember?
I think I feel more energized and almost excited to try all these new things because I've been
Mhm.
so stuck in just my own world of just that life of that, reliving those memories and staying stuck and then losing my mom and feeling
Mhm.
afraid, that it's exciting to not feel afraid and have
Right.
new things to try to move forward with. So I feel excited.
Nice. And that makes sense, you know. And from everything you explained about how you're feeling now and what you thought about the exercise, you were able to stay present and work through those feelings, especially what you shared with your brother in that moment and how, you know, you received that explanation of how what they thought prior to you saying what you shared. And that's an important strength, you know. The goal isn't necessarily to make difficult feelings disappear or fix the
Right.
problem. Instead, grounding gives you a way to manage those feelings and cope so they don't become big and strenuous on us, you know, and overwhelming. I'd like you to practice this technique during the week,
Okay.
especially if you notice yourself becoming overwhelmed or if you share something as it regards to your trauma and you feel like you're in the moment of the trauma, like you feel the feelings that you're feeling. um we can talk about what you notice when we meet next time and
Okay.
decide whether there's something that would be helpful to whether this is something that works in those moments and is helpful to continue using.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely try it and, see how it helps when I'm feeling those emotions.
Right, right. Is there anything else you want us to address while we're here?
No, not today. I think that was really good. I'll take
All
those
right.
with me and start practicing.
Okay, sounds good. I look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, great. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.